This video provides a 5-step process on how to take a broad topic and narrow it down to a feasible research question. So the first thing I'm going to do is list down a couple of topics that I'm interested in and that are somewhat related. So let's say I'm interested in the environment, recycling, and global warming. So 3 should be enough. So now that I have these broad topics, what I want to do is think of ways that I could turn these topics into a research question. So the first decision is the unit of analysis. So I have to ask myself if I'm interested in individual level analysis. So if I'm interested in individual level data, I can look at gender, race, age, and maybe even where people live. An option would also be organizations in terms of unit of analysis. So maybe I'm interested in the Sierra Club or the Environmental Protection Agency. It's possible that I also want to look at my broad topic using large-scale unit of analysis such as countries. So maybe the United States and, I don't know, European countries. Now the next decision is if I want to do cross-sectional analysis or longitudinal. So for cross-sectional, I could probably, let's say on gender, I could compare male versus female. I could look at older people and younger people. In terms of organizations and cross-sectional analysis, I could look at, let's see, agencies in different states in the United States. Right? If I'm going to look at countries, let's say I could compare environmental laws. Now those are cross-sectional. If I want to do more longitudinal analysis, I could probably take the United States and see how laws have evolved over time. So that's really the main difference. Do I want to compare different groups and do a cross-sectional analysis, or do I want to do more longitudinal analysis where I take maybe 1 or 2 or 3 groups and see how they have evolved, they have changed throughout history. Maybe I can look at how organizations, environmental organizations have changed their missions for the past, let's say, 50 years, something like that. Okay. So another decision I have to make now is to think of research questions looking at what type of unit of analysis I'm interested in, and also if this is cross-sectional or longitudinal data. So a question would be, to what extent does gender affect one's attitudes towards global warming? Or I can look at how have views of global warming changed in the past 30 years. I could look at organizations, let's say, how has the political climate in Washington changed influence EPA policies? Which countries are more likely to have stringent environmental laws, and why? Now that I have these questions, and these questions are fairly narrow, what I'm going to do is diagram them and see which ones I'm really interested in. So let's just take one. Let's say the gender question. So what I'm saying here is that gender affects beliefs about global warming. So that's the causal relationship I'm trying to figure out. Gender is my independent variable, and I'm saying that beliefs about global warming are dependent on gender. But keep in mind there are many things that can affect someone's beliefs about global warming. So here I'm just going to take a look at the variables that I should take into account or control for when I'm doing this causal relationship. Level of education affects beliefs about global warming, maybe socioeconomic status, I can even say geographic location, occupation maybe, etc. So these are really 5 easy steps to help you out if either your topic is too broad, or you don't really know how to frame a research question and need a little bit of help.